Hello everybody and welcome to today's Hangout, BIM 360, linking locations to your contract document points. This Hangout is brought to you by Live Lab Learning, which is a subsidiary of Academic Corp, a wholly owned applied software company created to provide world-class training. This is Zach Spillers, and I'm delighted to be your moderator today. Throughout our presentation, we do encourage you to interact with us by typing in questions and comments using the questions pane, and we will be answering those questions at the end of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be available to you online on our YouTube channel, and we will also send you an email following the webinar with a link to the recording as well. So, if you haven't already, search Live Lab Learning on Facebook and like our page to receive the latest information and special offers. When you visit our website, livelablearning.com, there is a complete schedule of upcoming training as well. And also, we do have some events that we'd like you to take note of. We have a BIM and Beer in Seattle coming up next week on Wednesday, December 16th, and it's from 5:30 to 8:30 at Hales Ales Brewery. And we also have some upcoming webinars as well. So we have one with Southwire BEM software, revolutionizing the electrical industry, and that is Tuesday, December 15th from 12:30 to 1:30. And we have a BIM 360 Hangout as well coming up, but the date and time is yet to be determined. So we will let you know when that comes out as well. So, and following the Q&A at the end of the webinar, we will give away a $25 Visa gift card, and so you must be present to win that card. So if you have any interest in it, stick around. And helping me today as the presenter is Michael Reuter. And Michael, to give you a little background on him, has worked in the contractor setting, worked for Walsh Construction, as you can see, as a QA/QC engineer, BIM, and a VDC coordinator, and a schedule specialist. And he does have his degree in construction management as well as a master's in science from Auburn University, War Eagle. And he's also, a little fun fact here, he does a lot of our logos and illustrations for our company as well, and is an expert illustrator. So, and another fun fact I'll throw in is Michael is the guy, as some of you may know or may not know, but if there ever is a purchase of BIM 360 products, he is our customer success advocate and will be helping you directly to make sure everything goes well with the product use. So with that being said, please join me in welcoming Michael Reuter. Take it away, Michael.
Okay, hey everybody, this is Michael, and today we're going to talk about how to link your locations to your contract documents in order to improve your site walk workflows. So today's agenda is basically going to be, we're going to discuss what the current workflow in construction is for site walks and documentation. Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually set up some locations in field. We're going to add and create barcodes. We're going to scan barcodes on the iPad and create issues. And we're also going to crop locations on the iPad for use for everybody on the site. Then once we've created all of our issues, we're going to run a report, and then we'll have a series of questions at the end. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up BIM 360 Field, and I actually want you to think about your current site walk workflow right now. If it's anything like my old one, it's a lot of, there's a whole lot of moving parts to it. As a quality control engineer, it was tough to keep track of and manage all of our quality issues on our projects because there was a lot of issues. Two, the landscape of the project was always changing, and then three, issues could get lost because they were covered up or because we didn't have them mapped, and the map wasn't somewhere readily available to everybody. So that's kind of why I'm presenting this solution to you guys today. So again, the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to select a floor plan. So right now I've just got a floor plan of the building that we're in, so I'll open it. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take all of your locations and make a list out of them in Excel. So right here you can see just on this floor alone there's I think there's a total of 54 locations. So it's, you know, it will take a little bit of time to make that list, but the time that it takes will save you hundreds of minutes further down the road. So basically that's what we're gonna do. So we're actually gonna go to the project admin section of BIM 360 field, and we're gonna go to the locations module. And I'm actually in the wrong project. Not a problem. Okay, so we're in like our brand new project, and so what we want to do is we want to import all of our locations in. So what I've actually done prior to this meeting is, rather than bore you guys to death with creating a list of all of the locations, I've actually gone and done that already. So right here, what you see is a template that BIM 360 has already created for you. So basically, you can just add in all of your locations, and they'll be accepted by the software. So basically, you have to fill in the path, the description of the location, the status, which is always open, and then you can fill in the barcode, which and I actually have, and I'll explain why later. So I guess, okay, so I was wrong. There's 56 locations. Okay, so I have so I've already got my locations decided upon and filled out. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit import here, and then I'm going to choose that file. And so I'm just going to choose ASCII locations. I've named it that. You can name it the file whatever you want. But you just hit that, and then you start import. And then it works really quickly. So 56 locations were added, and there were no errors, so that's great. So I did everything correctly. So again, you can see all of the information that was in that spreadsheet is now in BIM 360 field right here. So now what we're actually going to do is we're going to link these files to the floor plan that we decided to use. So I'm going to click on that floor plan in the library, and then I'm going to select actions, and I'm going to hit edit locations. And so this may take a second right here, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add every single location on to this floor plan. You can see how quickly it is. It's just very quick. You just select the checkbox, and then it links it. Let's see. The reason that I'm linking a whole bunch of locations all to one sheet, I'll explain that in a minute. But basically, I've found that it works best if you link all of the locations from one floor plan together, because well, I'll just show you one just shortly. Okay, so I've selected all of those. Now, as you can see, there are 52 locations, so I must have missed some. Well, regardless, I've added 52 locations to my floor plan. I have also added barcodes to all of those locations. So basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up my iPad here so that you guys can see it. Okay, and I'm going to actually sync my iPad so that all of my contract documents and my locations are on my iPad. So I've got it set to my my site, and now I'm going to sync. Let's check our sync settings. We want to have all of our folders, all of our all issues. I don't want that. We're not dealing with checklists or anything else today, so I'm just going to hit sync. So while I'm syncing, I'll just kind of bring my iPad over on a different screen. I want to talk about barcoding. So what we suggest is you use barcodes on all, like, going forward for your locations. And the reason that we suggest that is because it's really going to streamline your site walk workflow, which we're going to go over later. And how does it do that? Well, because rather than having to search for the location and then create the issue, you just scan a barcode, the location shows up, and then you can start creating, generating content for your issues. So what we suggest using is Avery.com. It's free, and it does everything that you could want. So right here you can see my my sample barcode. What I've actually done is I went and I bought some just some Avery address labels. The one that I use just for this is 5261. That's the template. I use that because it's small and because you can get 20 on a sheet, so it's just cheaper that way, I guess, if you're going to have a large building. And it's also because it's small, it won't it won't be I guess a nuisance throughout the job. It won't be sticking out like a sore thumb. But basically, all you I linked my ASCII locations Excel sheet with this with Avery.com, and so basically everything came over. So I've got the name of the location, the description of it, and then the barcode. And then I've actually got a barcode over here. So then all you do is you just print those out and you place them. So since we've done that, I'll actually I've actually completed my sync, and so I'm going to bring my iPad over again. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to open up our issues, and then we're going to want to select up here this at the top level. We're just going to want to select a location. And so what we're going to do right now is we're actually setting up what we want to print in our reports. So I'm going to go into sales, and I'm just going to do all of the locations around me. I'll show you real quick. So right now I need to locate the Nolan site. So here's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to select this blue box, or this lightning bolt box up here in the top left corner, and then that's going to allow me to crop my floor plan. Okay, so I'm just going to crop my floor plan in so that it is only showing basically the Nolan area. So that's his cube plus 5 to 10 feet, depending on if there's like any dimensions or column lines that you want to, or any other information that you might want to take care of. So next you're going to want to go down to the next one, and you're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, keep going until you, and basically we're just going to keep going here until we get every single location cropped out. So as you can see, like I'm doing this really quickly. This does not take very much time to do. Like I think we were helping Brassfield and Gorey do something similar to this, and we did like about a 3 or 4 story building in I I think less than a half an hour we actually did that, and there was probably like 300 rooms total. So it really doesn't take that long to do. Once you do this and you sync it, this is actually set up for every other. Whenever anybody else syncs up, they can see these cropped locations as well. So basically everybody. So you do this once for the project, and it's set. So that's a pretty good. That's pretty helpful. So okay, I'm almost done here. I'm just trying to show you how quickly you can do a whole lot of these. Okay, so right now with this one, I will have gotten just about every little bit of our I guess administration work taken care of, and it's all done. So now we can do really the fun part. So we've linked all of our locations with this floor plan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a walkthrough of the new, I guess, site walk workflow. Okay, so first things first, I'm just going to bring up my camera. Okay, so right here is what our barcodes are going to all look like once they're printed out. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going through like the basic workflow for how to set up a your barcode. So all you do it's just this simple. You set it up there, and then you can place it. We suggest placing it. We suggest placing the barcode like right at the door frame, and we suggest that because it's out of the way, and you're not going to need to really mess with the barcode until later. But because this is a cubicle, I'm just placing it right there. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is I'm going to simulate the actual workflow. So let's imagine that we're walking the job site, and we're about to go into my cubicle to do like our final punch list. Okay, so all you do is you just scan the barcode. You can see it wasn't even lined up or anything. And so you can see immediately it takes you right to the location. So that's pretty great. So I'm going to select pins, and I actually see a issue right here. It's right on this column. So I'm going to add an issue right here, and the issue is that we need to touch up paint. So I'm going to add an attachment here, and as I add the attachment, you can see basically that this column needs to be, the paint needs to be touched up. So I'm just going to take the picture, mark done, and then I'm going to select it, and then I can mark up my my picture if I need to. I can circle the issue, and then type in please touch up. Okay, so we've got that done. Close it, and we've got that issue solved. Okay, we've got that issue set up. So now I'm going to assign a company. This is for, we're just going to say this is for CTG there, the painter, just for the sake of argument for this project. Okay, you could also assign a root cause or a due date, or if you guys needed to sign off on something, you could even do that. So now let's create another one. There's another one right down here at my feet, and that issue is that we need to we need a receptacle cover on this outlet down here. So I'm going to again take another picture. Okay, mark it done, and I'm going to mark up the picture, circle it, needs receptacle. Okay, so you guys get the idea. I've done 2 here. You guys get the idea. I'm not going to go and do tons more, but essentially what you would do here is you would keep doing this until you had walked the entire building or the entire floor. And you'd just be marking up all of the issues that you found. Or if you would be going and if you were further down the road in the project and you weren't just generating issues, you could also be looking at old issues to see if the contractor had modified them or fixed them. Basically, that's your workflow for how you would do things in the field. Okay, so now what we're actually going to do, we've compiled all of our data from the field. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sync our iPad again. So while we're doing that, I wanted to talk about a couple of other things. So again, I want you guys to think about your old workflows, like where you're bringing your like a copy, like probably 11 by 17 of your floor plan. You're bringing out your camera. You're bringing out a pen. You're bringing out whatever else. And so then you're scribbling on your floor plan the location of the issue and what the issue is, the description of it, and then you're taking a picture. And so then actually what you're doing after that is you're walking back from the field, and then you're actually coming in and you're sitting at your desk and you are adding those pictures onto, you're either scanning in your what you've written out on the field, or you are taking like a PDF of your floor plan, and you're actually redoing everything that you got, all the data that you collected out in the field. Well, to me, when I was doing quality control walks, that was extremely frustrating. It was frustrating for a number of reasons. One, because I collected the data, but then I had to re-present it so that it was presentable to all of my subcontractors. And 2, it was double entry basically. I was wasting my own time. When I started using BIM 360, that really I started using reports, and that really helped me. So I'm going to actually show that off right now. Okay, so let's double check that everything that we just synced jumped in. So I'm in BIM 360, and as you can see, just my two issues have come from my iPad and downloaded onto the desktop version of BIM 360 field. So they're all in there. They've got the locations, got everything in there. Okay, so that's good. So, like I was saying a minute ago, I had to come back in and then create the report by hand, and it usually took me an hour, depending on how long the site walk was. So now I'm just going to show you the reporting in BIM 360 field. All I'm going to do now is I'm just creating a issue list report, and I'm going to group it by company. You could also group it by location or by the type of issue if you wanted to, but I always did it by company because I could actually break the page whenever a new company changed, and so this made it really easy for me to either send out to my superintendents or my subcontractors. They only had to focus on their pages, and then they had a list of the location of every single problem. So now I'm going to go down here. I'm not going to really change any of the filters because I want to see every single issue. But what I am going to do is I want to show attachments because I want to see the pictures that I took. So I'm going to show attachments after each group of items, and I want the pictures to be small so that the report is shorter. And I'm going to include any comments if there were any on there, and then include all pages. And right down here, I want the push pins to be small and the first thing that we see. So I've got that done. Now I'm just going to select Run Now. And while that's working, this doesn't take very long. So it's going to automatically send an email of this report to me. You should be able to see this down here in the bottom right-hand corner here in a minute whenever it gets sent to me. I can send it to whoever else I want, or I can download it to my computer, and I can just view it as is. So here's the report of our site walk. So the first page that you see is basically the cropped floor plan version of the issues that we found. So right now you can see exactly where those two issues were. It was right by my desk, and it was right by the column. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, for sure, the first issue that I always had whenever I was trying to get my quality control issues solved with my superintendents or my my subcontractors was that they didn't know where the issue was. So that was so we had to go out there and we had to find it, and so there was that was always the first problem. And so because we cropped it in, we know exactly where that location is. So it's since it's a PDF, this is a large drawing of it, so you can see there's absolutely no doubt as to where the issue is that we've documented. Okay, so that's one thing about the issue. So next we go down to the next page, and so you actually see a list version of your issues, and so the corresponding photos are in order as well. So right here you can see this one needs touch-up paint, so it shows you exactly where, and then I've circled right here where the receptacle is. So basically this report took basically from 1 hour of my life to create to about a minute, I would say. So every time that I went out into the field, this is the exact report that I ran, and then I would give it out, hand it out to my superintendents and my subcontractors at our weekly quality control meetings, and then they had a list to work off of, and they knew exactly where everything was and what they needed to do. So anyway, that's my presentation. I'll open it up to questions for everybody.
All right. Thank you, Michael. So some questions here. Let's see, which we appreciate y'all sending them in. When you are setting up crop locations on your iPad, do those save for the entire project or just on your iPad?
Okay, yeah, so I kind of glanced over this one, but the beautiful thing about setting this up, you're not just setting it up for yourself. When you're cropping them on the iPad, you're cropping them for everybody in the project as soon as you sync it. So as soon as you sync it, all those crops will be available. And then as soon as someone else syncs for the first time, they will also have the ability to crop those. And then let's say you accidentally cropped the wrong thing, or maybe you wanted to see your team decided that you wanted to see a larger, you wanted to see more of the image. Well, you can very easily do that as well. Whoever changes the crop the next time and then they sync it, it saves it up. So it's very and it saves it for everybody. So.
Gotcha. Thank you. I think you touched on this a little bit as well at the beginning when you said that you had gone ahead and set up your locations, but how long does it typically take to set those locations up?
Okay.
So that they can be linked. Sorry about that.
Okay, so it depends on how big your project is, but I think that it would take probably less than a half hour to set up one floor, and that includes making the list, putting it into the locations template, and then cropping everything. The longest part of the process is definitely going to be making the list, but there's kind of a cool thing that one of our guys, Clinton, has made. He made he made this hierarchy location builder spreadsheet right here. So basically, I'll show you. So BIM 360 wants to have all of the hierarchy. They want them divided by the greater than sign. So he actually went in and built something that did everything automatically. So all you had to do is basically just put in your building name, and then right here this would be like your floor, or your floor level, or floor side, or segment, or whatever. And then the third tier right here is actually the name of all the rooms. And so what he's done is he's created a file that it automatically creates everything that you need, and then all you do is you just copy and paste all of these into your template, and then they're all right there. So just like this. So whenever we're implementing new BIM 360 and we're putting in locations, we use that, and we teach everybody there how to use it on site. So if they need to add locations later on or whatever, we teach them how to do everything. So and they have access to this. So that's my long answer to that one.
Good deal. Excellent answer. Here's a good question. Between barcodes, well, actually, let me back up a little bit. Will barcodes work as well as QR codes, and which one works better?
Okay, so I'll bring my iPad over for this. So right now I'll show you. Up here I've got both a barcode and a QR code. So they're both the same. They're both like 10016. Okay, so I'll show you. They both work just as well. So we'll do the barcode first. So that was pretty quick and painless. Now let's test out the QR code. Okay, same thing, really quick, right? So it of course it always depends. Sorry, I guess my feed is a little bit behind. But both of them work really well, but it all depends on the size of the barcode. What we found is that QR codes are a little bit faster to be scanned, especially if you're going for with a really small QR code. But barcodes work perfectly fine as well.
Awesome. All right, last question here. Can you go through the barcode mail merge setup in more detail?
Okay. So again, I'll go through, I guess, setting this up completely. So again, we're on Avery.com. You select the product that you want. Again, I selected the 5261 address labels. They're really small, but not too small. And so then basically what you do is once you've selected that, you select the blank design unless you want to put your logo on it. You can if you want, but I just always select the blank one just for simplicity's sake. So next you select customize, and then you go in here and you select mail merge. So what you do is you select that, and then okay, it told me that I needed to select a box first. So since I've already got one, actually I'll just do it from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to add a text box in here, and I'm going to select it, and I'll hit Start Mail Merge. So I'm going to browse for a file. Again, I'm just going to select the locations file that we were using already, so it's going to load it really quickly, and then I'm going to select only the information that I might want to merge. So I'm going to hit Next, and then I want to have the description of the location, then the path, and then I want to have the barcode number on there in case for some reason the barcode gets messed up somewhere along the way, we've got two ways to look it up. Okay, so now I'm just going to select complete merge. So as you can see, bam, it just does it immediately. You can then even still go in here and let's say you wanted to enlarge just the name of the room, well, you could do that. And so then it does that for every single one of the locations. Okay. QR codes. You just go over here and hit QR and barcodes. So you hit add, and then you can select. There's all kinds of different barcodes that you can select. You can pick whichever one you want. I kind of suggest using QR codes because they just seem to scan a little bit easier, especially when they're smaller or if they're further away. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to select merge, and then I'm going to select the barcode, drag it over here, and I'll hit finish. So that's going to generate a barcode, and again you can see I'm editing all of them. And there you go. So you can basically design this however you want. But yeah, that's the whole process. Takes, it'll take 10 minutes probably tops. You save it and then you print it. But okay, go ahead. Any other questions?
I think that's all, man. I think you nailed them, and now it's time to pick a gift card giveaway winner. And if Josh Merchant is still hanging out with us and present, type a slight message or confirm you're here by typing a message into the chat box there, and we'll get you a gift card, my man. All right. Thank you, Josh, and thanks for hanging out with us today, guys, and we hope you find this Hangout informative and help to your business, and we look forward to seeing you on our next Hangout, and everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much.